Good morning. Welcome back to my channel. This is Donna. And yes, I did make one more slight change to my name. I actually put my first and middle initials with the rest of Kelly Walla Creations because Donna is a common name and I didn't want any confusion going around, so I just kind of made it simple, but the majority of it remains the same from when I first introduced the name change of my channel. So I hope I didn't inconvenience anybody, but that is going to stay. That DL Kelly Walla Creations is going to be the name of this channel from moving forward. What I wanted to do real quick is eventually I'm going to show you how far I did get on the crochet project I was showing you. Right now, crochet is not at the top of my list. I got other things to worry about besides crocheting, and that's just my little go-to in between when I feel like I really want to sit and crochet for maybe about an hour. It is not my thing anymore just to sit there and start picking up a crochet hook and yarn. My passion right now is learning embroidery, designing my own designs, throwing together little collages and everything else. That's me. I just want a mindless, smooth transition into working on something, and something that really keeps my mind occupied. So what you see in front of you is a quick little collage of hearts that I threw together. And I have it pinned. I didn't stitch it yet because I may, move things around, but I wanted to show you at least where I'm at to start. Now, I'll share with you this piece. I was going to incorporate it, then it didn't look right, but I have this piece just in case that I may still put it back into what I'm working on. I'm going to describe what I have here, and then I'll just show you all the pieces. So I have a piece of this linen, and I'll explain where this linen came from. It actually was a complete shoe shoe storage unit. It was all linen and you could hang in your closet that I picked up at a yard sale or a flea market about 9 years ago. And all I started using it to hold my yarn, but it was just too much and it really wasn't holding everything into place. And then I just had it pushed back in the closet, and I'm like, if I really wanted to get into this crafting, I really need some materials because I'm very limited on what I have. And I'm just, picking up things here and there of what I could use at the moment. So I cut it apart. And I got enough of this linen here to show you, and I'll show you a better piece. This lace here is part of a burlap ribbon that is detachable. I'll show you that. This was another ribbon that I picked up. Now, majority, 3/4 of the materials on here came from the Dollar Tree. Now, affiliated and not sponsored by them. Here's another burlap that I just picked up. This is one of the materials that I picked up from there. I have little bees. It was a sheet of different shapes and flying directions of bees. I just cut enough out to go with the flowers. I have one here I didn't attach yet to sew. And then more of the ribbon. I went across. I made it like a little frame. Here's another piece of burlap I just frayed out just to give it some character. And then I have a piece of felt behind this. So the linen, and that's a better shot. The linen is going to be my backing for now, but I have that little bit of felt in between majority of what I'm attaching. So this is what I'm throwing together at the moment. And I will show you the finished product hopefully in the next day or two. Now, I did share with you what I was working on as far as learning my stitches, and I think I was maybe about down this section here. I did the stem stitch, fly stitch, colonial stitch, cross stitch, chain, French knots, split, and then I was mixing, matching from doing threads or floss to yarn. And the yarn, I just felt it was a little bit better in giving you more of a detail what it looks like. Then I went back to thread again. I did a lazy daisy with some French knot in the middle. I did some eyelets down here. This is a coral stitch, which is a line you put a knot in and a line. It's hard to explain one, but there's plenty of videos out. One of the young ladies that I've been following and binge watching is Sarah Humphrey Embroidery. I That's where I kindly actually started this whole process from. I binge watched her from, I don't know, from years of her. I think she's been on there for like 10 years or so. I've seen her off and on when I was looking at things, and when I finally settled in on knowing that this is what I was going to be tackling as another craft to add on to my list of things to do, she is the very first one that I sat and binge watched. I enjoy her videos. She is very detailed. I enjoy how she shows off her work, but also shares other individuals' work when it comes to, whatever projects they were working on, or whatever she inspired them, to give a try and all that. So I really enjoy her. And then there's two other ladies that I just started working. One is Anne Brooke, I think her name is, and Jennifer. Her last name starts with a C, Colson. But these ladies are excellent, and they have years experience, but I like the way they teach because each of them have a different style. They show you different things, and it's like you're incorporating, bits and pieces of everyone. Now, I do have a handful of other embroidery YouTube channels in between that I, look at as well, because I do like the inspiration on how they put their things together and what their thought process is and what materials they're using to give me an idea of what I need to be looking for when the time comes of me building up my stash of things. This is the buttonhole stitch, which is similar to the blanket, except that it's a spacing difference, how far apart your space is between the blanket and the buttonhole. So this is what I've been working on. So real quick, I'm just going to show you some of the stuff. Now, I also mentioned to you about the floss that I had in the needlepoint kit. So this is all the floss I have that came from there. You see I got a little bit of yarn in there too. But this is what I've been working on to practice a lot of things until I get to the point of what embroidery floss or embroidery thread I need to, incorporate in my stash, and better quality, better colors, and just play around with, but right now this is good enough for me. This is enough for me to get started and do the best that I can with what I have on hand. Now, another thing I also use, I don't have beeswax. Right now I'm not doing any kind of ordering online stuff. I've been staying away from a lot of that stuff. So actually, my husband picked up for me this set of candles, and I'm figuring it's good enough at least to help with my thread. I know it's not beeswax, it's not the good quality of, having beeswax and all that, but when the time comes until I can incorporate, again, into my stash, this is something for me, as a temporary fix. So that's what I'm using as well. Also, I saved, this is one, I saved an egg crate where I'm keeping my needles and some of the other yarns that I had in a box that, I had for years even when my mom was still living, may she rest. So these threads are good. They've been in a tin can for God knows how long, so they're still good. So this is some of my threads that I can still use, as far as incorporating some things with what I have as far as embroidery floss. So that's that. Now, let me see. That little piece of gold I showed you with the gold leafing, this actually came from a thrift store, and I actually found a thrift store that was closest to us, and took a walk through and all that. It's very small, but it's enough to, you can find stuff, and they do have a good section of crafting. I just didn't get all the way through yet. But I paid 59 cents for this, and it is a gorgeous piece of ribbon, and I like the embossed leafing that's in it. Another thing I found at that thrift store was this brand new Waverly Inspirations 1 yard of 100% cotton. Brand new, $1.95. So I'll definitely be going back to see what I can find down there. As far as tools, I don't have all, all the needles, the chenille needles, what I have is some tapestry needles or some needles like from, working on yarns. I have some beading needles that I purchased. I have some regular sewing needles, but if I need to incorporate the chenille, the tapestry, there is another needle. I have all my notes written down. I'll get into that, but again, I'm working with what I have, and that's good enough for me. And just to give you an idea, if you're starting out with and don't have, you're on a limited budget and all that, this is a start just to get into it. You don't have to go out and start buying expensive stuff. The only thing when the time comes when I invest, I know I'm going to need a good pair of fabric shears, which I don't have, but you know what? These work good enough for me. So that's my tools. Now, let me get to the materials so I can end this video, so I didn't want to drag it out too much. Again, anything from the dollar store, 3/4 of everything I have on hand is from the dollar store. So the felt I have, and this is 11 3/4 or 11.75 inches by 45 inches. This was a roll of felt. So this is the black felt I had. I was eventually going to use this felt, and I still may do because I have a big enough piece. I'm going to make like a little journal book or a little booklet, a fabric book. That's one of my challenges to me to start doing that. So this is the Craft Corner felt. And then everything I'm going to show you are the craft fabric material that you get, and each one, it's one piece that's 18 inches by 21 inches, and they do have a variety, not a great selection, but whatever you like, they have it. So I have plain pink, I got this plain blue, I got this plain purple. Then we're getting into patterns, and these are the ones I kind of like. Nothing else really appealed to me, but so this is a bunch of roses growing, it looks like on a vine, or just flowers growing on a vine. This one was colorful. I like the detailing, and I like all the different color flowers and the colors that they incorporated in this fabric. So that's another one. Here is the fabric sheet of all the different bees that are on there. So you can, mix and match, cut them out individually, or cut enough like a strip. If something if you want to do a little hive something and have them all going around and all that. And then here's this one. It's like a paisley, but I like the colors that it's incorporated in it. Again, here's a piece of that linen. And I have a lot of it, so it's been helpful for me. The only thing I had to take out is some of the metal casings they have in here, because when you had it when they had the way it was constructed to hold your shoes and all that, it kept its shape somewhat. But I'm using it for that. And last but not least, this is the burlap. Now this is the burlap. I said that this lace is removable, it's detachable, so you can either use it with or without. I have it in that, and I have it in pink, and then I have regular little lace. And this is my other container of all whatever I have in threads. And these little threads also came from the Dollar Tree. I think it came 12 in a pack. So I have enough to work with what I have. So I hope this video helps out. I will be sharing the final the finished product when I get finished with it. Again, it'll probably be in a day or two. I'm not in no rush. I know Valentine is Wednesday, and as stated before, my husband and I, we say every day is a holiday for us. As long as we have each other, we have, that's our holidays. We have each other. So this is going to be at least an example, but I'll probably be adding beads, sequins, whatever I feel like putting on here, and then I'll show you how it turns out. So I hope, again, you enjoy this video. I'll be sharing more. I will put out the video probably end of the weekend for the crochet to see how far I did get with doing that stitch, and again, I'll give you all the details in the description box below that video of where the stitch came from. and what I was using as far as that. So everyone take care, you have a great day, and I look forward to our next conversation.